Hello guys, welcome to my channel and to another UPCRATE unboxing video. This time everything's a little different. First of all, the box. UPCRATE is currently working on a new design. So we have this transition design box and I also know what's inside because I got spoiled on Instagram and yeah. So I'm not gonna act all surprised as if I didn't know what's inside. Instead, let me just show you what we have here. The medium of the month is acrylic paint. And we have several paints inside. First of all, we have two Liquitex soft body acrylic paints in muted turquoise and muted violet. So these are actually really high quality acrylic paints. I think each of these costs €11.59, I guess. So these alone make up the whole value of the box because the box only costs €22. So good value for money. And we have more. So we have two more acrylic paints by Amsterdam. We have titanium white and reflex yellow. And this paint is literally so bright, I think the camera can't even capture it. However, there is a specific hint in the bottle post that this paint isn't light fast at all. Hence the 0 down here. In comparison, the opaque white has 3 plus signs, so it's super light fast. Then we have a palette knife and a brush by Lineo in size 8. And we have a Rembrandt pencil in B by Lyra. So then we have some really cute stickers. And then we have the paper, which is 400 GSM acrylic paper. And the first time I saw this paper, I thought it was watercolor paper or regular mixed media paper, but it's actually acrylic paper, which kind of surprises me because it feels like normal paper, and I only know the acrylic paper by Arteza, which is kind of coated. So I'm really interested to see how this works. And then we have a beautiful art piece by Miranda Meulenkamp. Here's her Instagram handle. And as you might guess, seeing this artwork, this month's topic is abstract art. And I have no experience in abstract art whatsoever, so this is going to be really, really interesting. And yeah. And we have a HelloFresh voucher, but I don't think I'm gonna use it because I have like 15 of these and never used them. So the actual prompt for this month is what can you see? And I'm not sure what I want people to see. However, my plan is to just go with the flow and, I don't know, apply some paint and see what happens. So let's watch the paints first. I actually took out a watercolor paper pad because I only have 3 sheets of the acrylic paper and I don't want to waste it. So let's have a look at the Liquitex paints first. So I think I'll just dip the brush in here. Oh my god, I think this is going to be good. Okay, wow, this shade is so pretty. Let's see what shade we can create if we use some white with it. Wow, I love this shade. It's so pretty. Okay, enough of violet for the moment. Let's test out the blue. The main difference between the heavy body and the soft body acrylics is that the soft body acrylics are rather fluid and the heavy body acrylics have a higher viscosity. And this paint is really fluid because I just got splatters all over my table and my finger. Whatever, let's have a look at the shade. And This one is also super pretty. Well, the color says muted turquoise, but it kind of reminds me of Prussian blue. Am I the only one? So let's mix in some white here as well. So together with the white, the paint looks more sky blue than turquoise to me. And last but not least, the reflex yellow acrylic paint. I think this is going to make a huge difference. Okay, let's see. Wow, it looks like a highlighter. Okay, this is super bright. It literally has the same color as my highlighter. So, wow, I never ever owned a bright paint like this. Let's mix in some white here too. Okay, there was a little blue in here as well, so let's do that again. Maybe I should have tested the bright color first. Would have been smart. Okay, it's still super bright, however a little more opaque now. Let's see if we can mix a nice green here. Yes, that worked quite well. So we have a super cool color selection here. And I almost forgot, we have the pencil, which works just fine. Just like any other B pencil, you know. And we have the palette knife, and I have one already. However, I only used it for paint mixing, so I never used it for actually creating the painting. So that's going to be interesting as well. This time I created not only one, but 3 paintings using all the paper that was included in the box. And speaking of paper, I love the paper that was included. It has a really nice texture that I wanted to include visually in my painting. And therefore I used the palette knife to apply paint by more or less scraping the paper in a way that the paint highlights the texture instead of covering it. And I just love the shade of turquoise I mixed for this painting, so I was really generous when applying this shade as a background. This painting was created 100% intuitively, so I didn't think about making it look like something at all. Maybe this painting represents how I was feeling while creating it, because I was feeling very experimental, so that's kind of what it looks like, I guess. However, what can you see in this painting and in the paintings that will follow in a second? Let me know in the comments. I kind of had mixed feelings about the second painting, but let me explain. So again, I used the light turquoise shade as background in this painting, but this time I wanted to include more of the bright yellow paint, but not in a way that's totally over the top. What could easily happen with such a bright paint? So I started painting very thin lines and blended them a little, and I did the same thing with white paint in between and thought, well, this looks nice, but it's boring. There's not much going on. It's missing this little something. So I added some more yellow, but this didn't help much. So I did the only reasonable thing and deliberately destroyed the peacefulness in this painting. And it really helped, in my opinion. I think it's a lot more interesting now. In the last painting, I wanted to focus more on the structure of the paper again and started by loosely covering the background in green, adding some turquoise and yellow here and there, and later used the palette knife again to apply the other paints. Since I haven't said much about working with the specific paints yet, let me catch up on this now. So to put it in a nutshell, both the Liquitex and the Amsterdam paints were a joy to work with. The Liquitex paints were very fluid, so even when applying them really thick, they were flat again after drying. However, if you mix them with the Amsterdam paints, it's still possible to create some 3D texture. The only thing I'm a little sad about is that the yellow paint isn't light fast at all, because I have to say that I really like the paintings, even though I didn't expect to like them, because generally abstract art isn't my cup of tea. And I would have liked to frame the paintings and hang them in my studio, but now I'm scared that the yellow will just fade and kind of ruin the paintings. I don't even know what's the point of non-light fast paints, because art is meant to be looked at, which kind of implies that you put it somewhere where people can see it, so preferably in a place where there's light. However, in general, the paints were great and I would definitely recommend them. I'm not sure which one of the paintings I like best. I really cannot choose. However, if you have a favorite, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye guys!